So last time we got together, we talked about how money grows. And something that we get a lot of the time, especially our clients that are just starting to invest, is the question of what investments should they be in? Where should they start? What's a good starting investment? But really, it all has to do with your risk tolerance. So what we want to do today is talk about what investments are riskier and what investments are a little bit maybe lower risk or safer. And to do that, we're gonna go to the board.
Let's get into it. So there's all these factors that come into play when it comes to considering your risk tolerance for investing. What I want to do for you today is kind of show you a risk spectrum that Gemma drew out. Beautiful writing. Thank you. To really see what the majority does out there with their money when it comes to investing and where you kind of fall, right? But those other factors come into play, so keep that in mind too. On this risk spectrum, we really have this side, the higher risk vehicles, versus on this side, the lower risk to almost no risk at all vehicles. And we don't really want to say that everything you do out there, there's going to be accounts where there's no risk at all, because again, remember, if you checked into our last videos, you learned when you're placing your money with the bank, just your cash in savings, what are they giving you? 0.01 interest, right? The major banks out there at least. And so with that said, you're not necessarily risking your dollar amount, right? That's secure. What's not secure is you're losing to inflation. So your value, right, in the dollar that's sitting there. So we really want to outpace. And if you checked into our very last video, now you know how money grows. So when it comes to the riskier end of the spectrum, that's where you'll find the variable strategy lies. Okay, so we have a lot of people today investing in crypto, stocks, mutual funds. We have variable universal life accounts, as well as variable annuity accounts. So anything variable, what comes up must come down, right? Or what goes up must come down. So why is this higher risk? Well, these are higher risk because of not just the variable factors of they're in the market, right? Whatever the market does goes positive or negative, so does your money, so does your dollars. And so there are some other risks that lie there too, right? Like fees and whatnot. What rate are you actually getting on your money? Those are the things to consider. Now, you also have bonds. Bonds do involve risk. And again, your cash, a CD, CDs don't really earn more than 2%. We learned on a good year, a good economy. So, that's where your risk lies, is really in cash and CDs losing to inflation, whereas bonds, you can actually lose money. So those still fall under, the risky category, but not as high risk, right, as like crypto. Now, on the lower end of the spectrum, as far as risk goes, we have real estate. And this is not all real estate, right? Because real estate's tied to the market too. So if you invest directly in real estate companies in the stock market, well, your money is going to go down, you could lose it, or it's going to go up. Well, there's other options for real estate investing that are more secure with less risk. So those are some ones that you really want to get in touch with us if you don't know what they are, and we can explain further in detail, or maybe you want to request a video on that. Definitely do it. Tell us. And then you have on the lower end of the spectrum, cash value accounts and index annuities. So those are really what we see people doing out there. But the majority, right, remember, is keeping their money in the bank. So yeah, there's not much risk there. But what happens, remember, when it comes to the way money grows, what is your money doing? It's losing to inflation, it's losing value. So we need to know how our money can work for us, which can fall on this end of the spectrum as well as this end of the spectrum. So we have to really outweigh the risk when it comes to those other factors in your life to see where you fall. Where would be a good place for you to start and build a foundation to your portfolio, or where is a good place to add to it? It's ever changing, so it's important for you to check in with us every year, every 6 months. And really there's 3 umbrellas that, these investments fall under. So you can invest and put your money with brokers, right? You can invest and put your money in the bank, and you can also invest and put your money with insurance. So those umbrellas are huge to look into of what you can do specifically under them. If you have any questions about that, definitely get in touch with us. Anyways, I hope this helped you. And all of this is set up for you to make Mas Dinero.
All right, guys, so what does that all mean? It totally depends on your situation, your financial goals, your age, your income, and just so many variables. But let me give you an example. I work with older people, usually 50 and up. And when you already have accumulated some money and you're just looking to protect that money because you want to use it for retirement, for sure, we need to put you on a lower risk environment, because those people are closer to retiring. They only have 10, 15 years and they just have accumulated enough money that they don't want to risk losing that money. So that's one option. Now, maybe you're younger and then you want to take more risk because you want your money to grow faster. Well, we may want to put you in something a little bit more on the higher spectrum, on the higher risk, because you have many, many years until you need that money. But what if you need that money tomorrow? Well, then that might not work and we still have to put you on this side. It totally depends. The ideal situation is to have money on different buckets on both sides of the spectrum. If you need help with that, and if you need help deciding what's best for you, just reach out to us. Our goal, as always, is to help you make Mas Dinero.